What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the fourth album by American rock band Drowning Pool. Based on this particular product, it's called Self-Titled, and it came out in the spring of 2010. So within fairest amongst it here, as far as these pitches kind of have, particularly within the aspect as far as like Drowning Pool took a mild type break apart from just like a particular mild/decent type break within pitch like that after Full Circle from 2007 as far as this first game within pitch for us, in particular within the aspect on top of that, the Fray. They did drop a live album in early 2009, but some things that pitch as far as the fair is going to happen. Really within those particular aspects, they had been dropping once every 3 years anyway, so it's the pitch as far as saying paying attention towards some of those products. The hit that pitch as far as saying, but getting towards the product here within these pitches, this aspect. This album surprisingly holds some of Drowning Pool's most popular songs within pitches like that. These particular songs off here, at least in now, I definitely fuck with the sound. I'm going to give it a classic score pitch like that, but within the phrase, as far as saying paying attention towards it here, particularly the first two singles, Feel Like I Do and Turn So Cold, within pitch like that, have some hit type phrase of competing with Bodies and some of Drowning Pool's initial popular type songs like Bodies and Step Up and Sinner and Tear Away, so and so ones like that within the pitch, as far as saying some of those particular type aspects when pitched back in like the back in like the Dave Williams type days, particularly back in like the Dave Williams and early Ryan McCombs type days, pitches like that. Actually, particularly, it was not Ryan McCombs who did Step Up from 2004 with Desensitized. That was actually Jason Gong Jones as far as was supposed to happen. So within pitch for saying hit that phrase, but the aspect as far as getting towards some of this particular aspect that says Drowning Pool back in their swing as far as these supposed to happen. So this is within the pitch. Now, the particular variety amongst it, the fair about Drowning Pool within these pitches, there's always going to be kind of that jet lag type fair amongst it within those pitches as far as saying this is the product of what could have been had Dave Williams not passed on initially with only really having gotten to one album with particular Drowning Pool. It's just it's very much an aspect within some of the pitches as far as saying paying attention like the product that the capital type appeal of Bodies and the hit type aspect of them not being able to it's the overall roteness and snap of that particular song. It's the overall roteness and particular snap. It's the overall roteness and particular snap and catchiness of like let the bodies hit the floor pitch like that with them not being able to appropriately and properly kind of follow up that particular song pitch like that. As the phrase for saying it always leaves like the mystery of just questioning then like the fair whether or not they would have fallen off had Dave Williams been around longer pitch like that. It's not like Drowning Pool has further hit type bounds, definitely pitch like that, Desensitized pretty affable pitch like that, it's known as tunes. Now I at least fuck with Step Up from Desensitized pitch like that, but I think the other two singles from that particular album were more post-grunge kind of ballad type pitches, so as the fairs within it. I don't want to say they were turn up type songs, they kind of did. Drowning Pool kind of gave some varieties pitch like that, but within the phrase as far as paying attention towards some of those type of atmospheres kind of pitch, I do own that particular album, Desensitized, so I need to throw some of those particular songs on like the MP3. Unlike the MP3 player pitch like that, but within the varieties, same thing with Full Circle as far as those pairs. Now, within these particular pitches, as far as paying attention towards the aspect that this Fray, pretty much I would have said they had a good spell. They were on a good string amongst the phrase within this album Fray as far as these pitches can happen, but particularly Ryan McCombs, the vocalist for this band at the time, went back to Soil, which was another band that he was particularly part of within those aspects for the Fray kind of happen. So that kind of pulled the plug on like the promotion type fair amongst this album, but still hit type pitch, just being able to say it very much was rekindled and reinvigorated type Drowning Pool within pitch like that with the Fray. This is the aspects for us saying there's always going to be like that particular digs that go along with it that just feel like with the nostalgia factor, the hit type, the combined aspect of this like nostalgia and then the pitch of like not being able to prove it because Dave Williams is no longer around. It's pitch for us saying I don't feel like Drowning Pool is a one-hit wonder within those pitches, but it is kind of products for us saying I think one of the I went to a Drowning Pool show in the past and I went to a Drowning Pool show in the past within those sorts of pitches, and I had to leave early within the aspects as far as the break because I had shit to do the next day. So as the fairs with the pitch as far as saying within a particular product, it was getting towards when I left. They were particularly performing the song "Tear Away" as far as the supposed to happen. But I want to say within some stuff pitch, I think the last song they typically perform, at least back in 2016 when that sort of fray was kind of happening, was particular. bodies within those pitches, considering that that's usually like the anchor of what most folks buck with the most heavily within pitches like that. But the phrase for saying paying attention to like the products versus pitch dynamics within the aspects for saying the particular tone amongst it is center's pretty affable. It's a good 1-2 punch with bodies. Then there's some pitches. Step up is a classic as well. Pitch like that. But the hit type phrase first, and they have some of those on here. It's just the pitch as far as getting to some of these type ones, just without the roteness. The particular phrase, this aspect amongst the sound has some hit type feels. These songs are catchy. They're alternative metal and just rock charts, U.S. main charts type staples, pitch like that. But this kind of fray. These songs within the aspect don't necessarily try to cross over within like the phrase like they did back in 2001 and 2004. So it's just kind of so it's a great album, but it's just been pitched that's just more within the exclusive type variety that you have. Just didn't seemingly aim as much full bound for like the crossover, despite the fact that these charted pretty heavily within the pitch. But just like question like the notoriety of like the varieties of how often like they would pop up in like more facets like body and center and some of those ones. But pitch first, I recommend all 11 songs up here, so 10 out of 10. So within these pitches, Feel Like I Do is the lead single. This is a song that out-charted, particularly the song bodies within these pitches, like I was saying, good aspects. Now apart from the one thing was bodies particularly charted on like the bubbling under Billboard 100, which this one did not, but still some hit that pitch there. So Feel Like I Do is like a good throwback drowning pool to get towards here. Good throwback pool, good pitch like that. Just rekindle. Pals, definitely What Up though, pitch like that. Just passing splits around, definitely pitch like that. You holding up, something stuff there is good, nice. Dap the pals, good collects for us. Supposed to have just standard nachos, gonna get going, pass around, some pitch like that. Some spicy, you know. Some spicy type ones, enchiladas, fairs like that, to some of stuff pitches, get toasted product like some hit type fries, tamales, some of stuff pitches like that. Throw some Slim Jims in there, some of stuff pitches, good few bags of Doritos, pitch like that within the aspect. But this hit type feels for us in the standard backyard typeness of the lit nut. Some lit type factors amongst the sound pitches like that is the phrase for us saying that there are some backyard rumbles on here pitched like that, like vintage drowning pool and some of these stuff, folks. Godsmack definitely. Godsmack definitely in Disturbed, some of these type ones, and also like particular Saliva, some of these type folks within these pitches for some varieties can happen. Other type phrase, I miss like the aspect of talking about Limp Bizkit, plenty of these type phrases. So it is kind of with the pitch, even though this is not as much new metal like it was back in 2001, it still has some of that particular rumble of just familiarize and definitely get some great sweets in rotation, pitch like that, get towards the splifted typeness, good pitch like that. So this is the aspect mixtape dap, you holding up some fairs like that, good nice pitches. Turn So Cold, another affable type ones, like a solid post-grunge kind of tear. Turn So Cold, it's an affable type ones, like a solid post-grunge tear away to get towards here with more slog and grip as far as these fish kind of this series of gal fairs kind of get towards pitch like that. It's kind of a muscle type day and things that phrase amongst it. Kind of some of these hit type appeals, just pickups. It's a good nice phrase, snag like some Fig Newtons and standard kind of donut type phrase, glazed donuts, pitch like that, some stuff aspects from the tone, good pitch like that amongst some stuff, various aspects within those varieties. Make like some fried Oreos and particular aspects of like random set of s'mores at possibly like 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning. Some type pitch is kind of curveball type phrase pitch like that within those aspects. This muscle type favored type days for galley pitch like that. Sense of price and dish like the dredge type factor the bills pay pitch like that. So good nice varieties. Let the Sin Begins, the third single off here. Now this is by the particular point of which where the album started, the promotion started to simmer off. But pitch like that as far as these physical albums, like a nice dance club kind of boogie get towards here. Just buzz hot. Good buzz hop goes along pretty well with Feel Like I Do, but just a little bit more bendy bound pitch like that. Just kind of the bodies variety, just more bullshit amongst it as far as it's supposed to have, just without like the usual rote type snap. It's not to stay within those pitches within the aspect that it doesn't have the appeal, but standard traditional hit type alt rock, alt metal kind of hard rock type rumble pitch like that. Good banging typeness, definitely decked out. Definitely shrouded and decked out, good pitch like that. Just hit type feels within the aspect for these first guy, just like Step Up. Definitely like bodies, definitely like Step Up, some step ones within pitch like that. Just of that. Just like those with some of those hit type appeals, this very hot type one within pitch like this is appreciate the variety like some step out type prices. Further dap with pals, pitch like that. As far as getting towards like the variety, as far as these pitches can happen just within like the aspect of getting crunk typeness within pitches. So look after here. So yeah, 11. Recommend all 11 songs pitches like that. So one of which off here within these tones is particularly Alcohol Blind as far as these pitches can happen. It's like a stellar kind of Alice in Chains and Godsmack on the Sun Pier to get towards here. Good pitch like that. This romantic kind of post grunge with Galley as far as these pitches going to go. Definitely a great kind of orange and kind of pink sun type aspect within sunset pitch. Just good romantic type sunset. Good romantic kind of summery type sunset. Good romantic and summery type sunset within pitch like that. As far as these varieties can happen, just paying attention like the pitch as far as just post up type fair. Definitely some porch type smart pitch like that. Paying attention like the varieties as far as these pitches can happen. Why you move that way, sunset pitch like that is paying attention like the product sunset pitches. It's kind of is that the way you view things? Pitch like that, sunset variety as far as these pitch can happen. But hit type feels. Children of the Gun is hitting off here as well as like a great bullpit and cut loose to get towards here. Just backyard Bacardi, grape sweet, sunset fairs, hostess type treats, pitches like that for like your pals. Good pitches here. Also probably going to like some blueberry muffin type runs for Galley sunset pitch. So kind of the product is backyard type rumble with also like backyard type rumble with also like the pitch of his favorite type runs in the aspect. Now, not something where it has to be going out within like the fray of like foulness factor or bad weather, some type pitch within the aspect where it's like a gripe factor, but it's kind of pitch it is like fuck it, I'm gonna go pick up like a few blueberry muffins, something, take the edge off some of the pitches, being shit faced AF pitches like this is kind of the variety. So kind of variety amongst those aspects is getting towards the probably just some come through type fare in addition like the standard just hit type aspect with like the usual type fare that Drowning Pool is known for within those bang type aspects. So definitely get plenty of Bacardi Dark, standard Bacardi, plenty of those type ones in your systems and great sweets on top of that. Good few some of those chocolate chip muffin type things that particular hostess has, other type ones like that. And some of those peanut butter things that are shaped like to Nutter Butters in particular aspects of like Nutter Butters definitely in zebra cakes for those supposed to have been displaying those type pitches. There's another one I was trying to think of, but I forgot what them pitch like that. But hit type aspects in the tone. Good nice pitch amongst it. King Zero is a hitting type one as well as like a good corner store bop along to get towards here and Bill's pay as far as these first can have just pleb BS and DAP as far as these first can have. So it's kind of chirp with pals or just standard folks out in public, some stuff pitches, gas station stuff there, just striking up some combos, pitch like this, figure out the fray. Getting like some 411 and like some pot or something like that. Now it's not within fray in terms of the legality factor of it being an issue, but it's the fray, this standard pitch of what you smoking on, some stuff pitches. You got some of that pineapple or what the fuck you getting torch with, what's in your sound system, some stuff phrases pitch like that. It's kind of that's new pitch like that, some stuff phrase, but it's Fritos type pickups on top of that standard phrase. Some cinnamon gum for Galley just in between type. Some cinnamon gum for Galley to pick up on top of that. Now within pitch, it's not. It's not as if within pitch it just having to have the aspect of like the slave type aspect within pitch for us like these varieties, but just the pitch of some of these type aspects in the tone of just definitely being prompt and pitch like that. Just playing these type ones is going to be routine within these aspects, like the whip out. That's just going to happen with some of these type phrases. Just having like these particular take the edge off type factors and pitches of like bolstering things. This is the pitch of you're getting some of this shit, so deal with it as far as these first game. But this pitch as far as some of these type hit products, pitches like that, but this X you're getting some of this shit as far as these first game. You're going to be cozy while it happens. This pitch like that. Now it's not being in demand type aspect, but this pitch for those hit type prices, this kind of product. Fun is the only thing on the menu, pitch like that, but hit type phrase. Also, horns up's hitting type one off here to this like a good town surf and breakneck moves, kind of get towards your pitch like that. It's kind of a bodies type song, but just more on the go. So kind of the pitch. Bodies typically is more like a dance club / venue type rumble pitch like that. Just some outing type phrase and like the fraternize type factor. But this particular one takes like the energy of bodies. Just kind of has it more in like some traffic type phrase. Kind of missed the pitch. Just breakneck type phrase. Just kind of traversing along pitch like that. Figure out the phrase. Just like the next mode sends to pitch like that. Kind of the phrase just amongst those type fares. Good up-tempo kind of just gliss along, so it's just differential from the usual post-grunge type smog amongst its sounds, so it just kind of has some of that in like a single type format. So it would have been a good choice for a single pitch like that within the fair. Definitely hit type phrase, grab like some vodka, definitely some Windex for galley, sense of pitch on top of that hit type appeals, just ruminate kind of within the product within some spirit type moments. If you don't have company, a long pitch like that kind of phrase, get towards some vomit, definitely puke within the aspects, not to have within safety type concerns, but just a pitch to get have some drink type phrase, vomit out in the yard when the travel is done, pitch like that amongst these products, and not to cause a scene, but just a pitch, probably just the aspects of those type products amongst that. Another good affable type one for like some commute type phrases, regret as far as these pitches. It's to be said that this was initially going to be a single at the sound pitch like that, but hit that phrase for saying it's like a burning along kind of traffic and unvent to get towards here, just what's eating you, sense of pitch like that, what's eating you today, sense of pitch within the product. Then the particular pitch is saying what's eating you today, because I do care about what's eating you yesterday as well, but sometimes that pitch amongst the aspects first, like the phrase can have just going going down the list with standard galley and just folks with the going down the standard list with galley and pitch like that amongst going down the list with standard damie and pitches like that as far as these pitch count, but also the pitch this standard collect with pals is kind of a blase type joyride pitch like that. This Walmart type run since the best system. It's like the traverse stretch amongst the pitch like that. It's beer runs and other type pitches, just utility type air, paper towels, map drops for like some of these next type modes since the pitch. So it's kind of that traffic blase, just kind of an album cut type format of like a song, particularly like Turn So Cold, but just kind of more with the aspect, a little bit more particular snap amongst it. So it's not as much post grunge so much as it is alt metal, kind of just dredge factor within some of the pitch. So it's kind of the tone, just some quickness, but just Aaron type snap and pitch like that. So I'm surprised it's kind of weekday type get along pitch like that within the weekday get along pitches like that with. Kind of some weekday get along pitches like that. Some weekday get along pitches like that within those phrase poses. Over my head's another nice one here. It's like an overcast and Godsmack and just over my head's another nice one. It's like an overcast and Godsmack and disturb kind of style reclaim to kind of get towards here in the line as far as this pitch is going to have. Just kind of moves. Definitely some Netflix gift cards to pick up for standard gal pitch like that. Hit that price. The aspects as far as saying some of these type ones within the pitch are like particular ones like straight out of line, but just not quite as noisy pitch like that. Straight out of line by Godsmack. Some of the ones other aspects like realign definitely in pitches like some of these disturbed type ones, kind of like stupefy. Some of the type ones within pitch as far as saying within the product. It's a real soul search of like it's a real soul search and cloud peer of like a particular aspect amongst those tones for those pitch down, but just kind of the product just definitely reclaim pitches like that, so I'm surprised with the aspect for us like the phrase down, but just the aspect kind of staying 10 toes down within pitch like that amongst these prizes, but just kind of in the clouds type fair, but just kind of within loftiness, just appreciating like the gliss like the recents going. Appreciating like the pitch, like the recent goings on pitch like that as far as these phrase counts. So with the excellent aspects as far as the fairs can happen amongst it, some of those hit type feels this real hit type cloudiness pitch like that, just easy kind of Netflix, Spotify type pickups for standard gal pitch like that, sense for the type price. Amazon type ones for some wish list type fair and pitch like that within Amazon type ones for some wish list type fair and pitches like that within those prices. But the aspects for us saying all about me is the hitting type ones, like a thrilling kind of bodies and center kind of rumble to get towards here, just re-up what it do's with pals pitch like that, definitely. It's up in your neck of the woods, so stuff fairs like that. So within pitch for us saying paying attention to like these aspects for us, like the tones kind of just a standard product, like some of that particular. This is very much a carbon copy of bodies, definitely within those pitches, just kind of the product minus. All About Me has particularly everything that bodies have within those pitches, just minus like the megaton type hook. And it's not to say the hook hook on All About Me is not bad. It's just within the quotability behind it. Just something that's kind of locker room and just standard meme pack type snap within pitch like that. Just not quite as off the tongue within those pitches. No, it's a simple type song within pitch. It's a simple type song style pitch like that. But it's kind of afraid just having like those catchy type ones like Jump Around and particular aspects of like tones like Make It Rain and some stuff like that. Some of those the pitch. But the aspects first and this pitch as far as talking about it. Pitch as far as talking about some definite banging typeness. Just what up with pals, pitch like that, get some smokes going around, pitch like that. Some of these hit type price, but just hit type backyard rumble and pitch like that. More Than Worthless is a nice one off here as well. Good nice pitch, like a chipper and centered, but dredgy kind of post grunge type. Very get towards here to smokes and lays definitely. Figure out some soup plays to make later for galleys. For this pitch kind of happens within the aspect for us, and just getting towards the product. Just definitely pitch a just car sit type fair, just aspects of just out in the grind chip pitches like that. Some stuff price just kind of that dredge factor. Standard type ones like Nickelback and some stuff folks like that within those pitches. Other type phrase of like particular Theory of a Dead Man and Shine Down sense to pitch like that within the varieties for us, like these aspects like this, the sun peer, and just the aspect like that gulag typeness that kind of goes along with like 545 and 445 type blase pitch like this that frustrate gets some Taco Bell in your system or first like that. Definitely some Lay's chips, but just figure out the mode, getting towards like some souffles from this bruschettas pitch like that, since that varieties fettuccine, definitely some of those to pitch just kind of have something delectable. It's just gonna make Galley forget the whole week sucked within sense of pitch if it's Thursday or something like that, or even if it's Monday, just have things be smart enough to float right along to Saturday as far as this pitch comes within the aspects for us and good nice pitches within variety. 10 out of 10 album here pitch like that within these varieties for us, these aspects going to happen. Getting towards the tones. In terms of the blistering typeness within the phrase for us, getting towards it, the social score will get a 10 as well. Now within these then these pitches, it almost comes with an asterisk. Now, this did have two songs that out-charted. It's had two top 10 songs in the U.S. main charts within those pitches, one of which those songs, the first two singles, Feel Like I Do and Turn So Cold within these pitches. Feel Like I Do did out-chart Bodies in terms of like the chart type appeal within those pitches. So it's a good comeback type song within those pitches, but it's just kind of varieties that still feels like some of the earlier type hits kind of have the aspect of more rote type factor, just the aspect of more seemingly kind of reception pitch like that within the phrase for us, saying just paying attention like the aspect just within the tone as far as the 2001 album just rolls off the tongue a little bit better, so it's pitched like that, but the hit type feels not within the aspect of this album not being bannered, just needed a little bit more catchy typeness within like the songwriting pitch like that. But other than that, some hit type feels the aspect as far as saying some definitely some backyard type rumbles, some of these sun pier type ones, some porch sit with some venue type rumbles, some porch sit with galley pitch like that. Just have like some standard phrase, definitely some cupcakes and fairs like that. Get some souffles going, sends the pitches, Netflix gift card pickups for like the real, just taking the edge off type factor. Something so pitch on top of this standard phrase, Walmart type runs, pitches like that. Just good some traffic get-alongs within these pitches, just kind of between Walmart type runs and this Bills Pay pitch like that. Some so far as just missed the aspect like the standard kind of dredge. Some of these are post-grunge type smears. Some of these type ones have a little bit more alt type factor, kind of in a bodies type format and step up type format. So it's not as if every single time you're in the whip it's kind of boring and just amidst work type mode where you have to commit to things, but it has some tear up within probably just getting beer type runs, other type pitches, some favorite runs for Galley, which should put you in a good mood as well within pitch like that. So the phrase as far as saying the accent pitch, and then just on top of that, this pleb type gab pitch like that, and standard with your pals and backyard typeness. Like I was saying, good nice pitch for like products with your pals as far as these pitch have, but just getting some spicy nachos and tamales with standard folks go. Tamales with standard folks going pitch like that, spicy nacho Doritos, some of those stuff products within pitch for us, plenty of type treats and appetizers kind of get to the product, just a full festive kind of crunk type appeal, just like back in 2001, 2004, some of those stuff pitch with Johnny Bull. So good accent. The accent products for us was first game. So within pitch for us saying in terms of the future, like Drowning Pool has not been around since 2022. Now they've at least dropped singles within songs. The phrase was kind of questioning within products for us like the next phrase that's going to happen within those pitches. But the products for us saying classic type album pitch like that. Now within variety, it's kind of, I realize my particular candor towards these albums within pitch like that. I know some folks that want things a little bit more critical within pitch like that kind of the phrase, but it's just the aspect for us saying the blistering typeness is definitely on here. So pitch for us saying I will say within these aspects that the tone kind of behind it, that the this gets a classic type score, but it is kind of pitched that the familiarity with some of those type ones from like Drowning Pool's early days kind of pitched for us, saying it has the marketability. These songs are definitely good within these pitches, but it's just something to pay attention to with like the aspects for us, saying that it just are not going to have. So I'd say that they don't as like a Nash the band, but it's just kind of pitched for us, and the product of just like the earwormness is just different from Light Bodies. But even within that particular fray, it kind of felt like within certain depth pitches, if Dave Williams had not been able to follow up Bodies, because really Tear Away and Sinner were good songs, but even those particular songs, it was Bodies that was being played every day seemingly within those aspects, even up to Dave Williams' death. So it's kind of pitch, if they had come back in 2003 or 2004 and he had not topped it, it probably would have been the same thing pitch. Like if they hit that first person, Indefinite Bliss type classic of an album here,